Mission 1.
Shinobi is a side-scrolling action arcade game from Sega. It first hit the arcades in November 1997. Set in modern times, for its release, you play as Joe Masashi, a hard-as-nails ninja, out to defeat the Mastermind Ninja Clan while rescuing the kidnapped child ninjas. Joe is able to take out enemies in a variety of ways. Kicks, shurikens and katana attacks are all at your disposal. But if that wasn't enough, Joe can also call upon one of the 3 different mighty ninjutsu attacks. Sadly, this can only be performed once per stage. There are 5 missions in Shinobi, each consisting of 3 to 4 stages. Only mission 1 has 3 stages, and the other missions have 4 stages, 19 stages in total. In stages 1 to 3, missions 1 and 2 only, the goal is to rescue all the child ninjas, and you cannot proceed to the next stage unless you rescue all of them. Development was carried out by Sega R&D 1 department, later renamed to Sega AM1. Shinobi was directed by Yutaka Kano, who later worked on the pretty crappy Mega Drive title Sonic Spinball in 1993. Man, how far he fell. The music was composed by Yasuhiro Kawakami, who also worked on the Super Famicom title Super R-Type in 1991. Now that is something to be proud of. Master System Shinobi is a very brave attempt at bringing the arcade game to the 8-bit console market. This is the version I grew up playing, so maybe I'm a little biased here, but I feel this is actually a very good port, if not somewhat cut down. The one-player hits are gone, which is a welcome addition. Now we have a life meter which will enable Joe to take quite a few hits. To be honest, this is needed because collision detection can be a little poor at times, but strangely more so in your favour. Many a time I've taken down an enemy with the katana, yet be clearly nowhere near him. Graphically, it has really taken a hit with smaller, less defined sprites and very bright colours, but everything is still recognisable. I quite like the audio in this Japanese version as it makes use of the Japanese Master System's FM capabilities. Overall, a reasonable effort for the first port. Next up is the Commodore Amiga port that was released by Sales Curve. Now Sales Curve are known for good games, so let's take a look at the good points. Well, first of all, the audio is reasonably done. The arcade speech is here and we have the arcade music recreated in a competent way. The arcade presentation is also here, from the high score table to the fans when winning the bonus stage. And that's about where the good points end. I mean, just look at this mess. Do I even need to say anything? The Master System port had better animation and more appealing graphics than this. It played way better too. I wonder if this is a port of the ST version. We'll find out very soon. Well, I think I'm safe in saying that Crap on the Amiga is a port of the ST game. Now, I'm not saying this ST version is amazing, but it's obvious this was the lead platform. The game has much more polish. The graphics look better, more colour is used in certain areas, and the bonus stage has far more ninjas with twice the animation. Yep, this is the better of the two 16-bit home computer ports that were not a PC. Doesn't mean it's any good, mind you. Sometimes the Amstrad CPC can disappoint harder than a 1,000-year-old turd, and others it takes you by surprise. I expected Shinobi on the Amstrad CPC to be a laughing joke, but it's actually a very good version. It has the tunes, colourful graphics and plays well. The only real disappointment is the lack of enemies on screen compared to other ports. But that's just a minor gripe when you consider just how good this is. I'm even surprised they kept the mission speech. Well, this is a surprise. The 8-bit home micro version we would expect to be good is actually pretty crap. This C64 version has no music that I know of. No button on the keyboard would switch it on, that's for sure. It plays nothing like Shinobi thanks to the hordes of enemies constantly piling onto the screen, and it moves too fast. Now, I know there is a UK and a US version of this game for the C64. What I don't know is if they are the same. What version is this you're seeing? Apparently, the US version. The ZX Spectrum version of Shinobi sucks big time. The control system is stupid beyond belief. Okay, so the controls on the computer ports are a pain in the arse, having to press fire and jump to reach a higher area, or down and fire to reach a lower area, but it works. So why change it on the ZX Spectrum port? Now you have to combine up and a keyboard press. This really takes you out of the game. The fact it has music and somewhat reasonable graphics doesn't mean anything when the game is horrible to play. Oh, and by the way, the MSX version is an even crappier port of this version. Sadly, I couldn't get it to work, so you won't be able to see it, but you're not missing anything. Yeah, this is Shinobi for the PC. Well, it says it's Shinobi, but it sure doesn't feel like it. A basic attempt and what you would really expect from a PC game of its age. Not much fun to be had here, but at least you get a choice of colour modes, with this being the best. Haha, you can't help but laugh at the eyes on Joe.
They're piercing your soul.
This unofficial NES version from Tengen is based upon the Master System version, and it's poorly done, as I'm sure you can tell. The colours used are ghastly. The music is bad, repeating the same track over and over again. What's strange is that more music tracks are actually within the game code, they just aren't used. Oh, and the playability is flawed. The controls just don't seem to be responsive at all. Best avoid this one. In the early 2000s, Sega released a Java version of Shinobi for mobile phones. This was a massive step up in graphical quality compared to the original arcade, and played rather well too. Sadly, the only way to capture the game footage is via emulation, which causes issues with the graphics and the controls tend to lag and get stuck. But I do remember playing this back in the day. The experience was very nice, far better than what you're seeing here in terms of fluidity. Before we get to the surprise version, let's take a look at the lovely PC Engine port. This was developed by Dual. Yeah, you've probably never heard of them. Asmik were the publisher. Anyway, this port looks really nice, but has a major flaw. It's too bloody difficult to kill even the first boss. Yep, the difficulty is way up there, more than the arcade game for sure. This really hurts the enjoyment factor for the average player. It's such a shame too, because Shinobi on the PC Engine looks and sounds pretty good. This almighty fine bit of coding for the Mega Drive will never be officially released, however it is amazingly close to the arcade game for a beta version. Sure, the audio driver isn't exactly the same, and there is a hit in colours. There are no bosses, stage transitions are missing, and there are glitches here and there, but who cares? Developers Typhoon and Pyron have done a wonderful job here. The gameplay mechanics are virtually identical to the arcade game. I just wonder if this will ever be completed.
Mission 2.
And let's take a look at all those versions of Shinobi running side by side.